What's going on, men? I'm happy that you tuned in to the Millennial Handbook. And today we're going to be going over four things of how you can build leadership and 4 ways to lead when no one's watching. We're going to start off right off the gate. Number one, you need to be responsible. Right now in America, all around the world, men are struggling to have responsibilities. Men are going away and running away from being responsible and wanting to have responsibilities. If that's not wanting to have children, if that's not wanting to be married, if that's not wanting to have a career, and that's just wanting to be just linear and average and amateur in your life, then go ahead and click off this video. It's not for you. But for the men that want to keep growing, that want to keep going, that want to be men that other men aspire to be, that God has called them to be, and that is in the image of God, then stay right here. The first thing, responsibility. We have, when we're not being watched, not social media, not in public, when we're not being watched, we have to be aware of in our mind and in our heart that what am I doing right now that's showing me responsibility. Let's break that down a little bit more. How am I setting up? How am I encouraging? What am I responsible for? Okay. So if I'm responsible for taking care of my family, if I'm responsible for encouraging my wife, if I'm responsible for teaching my son, then what responsibilities, tasks am I doing to better, when I'm not being watched, to better my wife, to better my son, or maybe you're single, maybe you're not married. What are you doing that the responsibilities that you have? What are you doing? How are you showing up in your private life when no one's watching? How are you being responsible, right? Are you just, let's say for instance that you're single, man, and you're trying to get in shape, and whenever you go to your Chipotle, whenever you go out with friends, you're showing them that you're eating well, but then when you get home, you got a bunch of ho-hos and Twinkies and stuff sitting in the fridge. How is that being responsible? How is that being a responsible man? And you're actually being counterintuitive. You're being counterproductive is a better term. So number one, responsibility. Number two, accountability. So many millennial men, so many of us struggle. Man, forget millennial men. All men right now in this current age are weak and they are struggling with accountability. They don't have maybe a man to help them be held accountable, but they're not even keeping themselves accountable. You have to keep yourself accountable to what you need to be accountable to, okay? If your faith is in Jesus like mine is, how are you being accountable to God? How are you being accountable to God? Are you doing the right things when no one's watching? That's what we're talking about right now. Because at the end of the day, God is always watching. We know this. But I want us men to get better at being accountable. Stop pointing fingers away that it was her fault. It's his fault. My dad's the reason why I'm like this. My mom's the reason why I'm like this. At the end of the day, you're living your own life. You need to fess up and say, look, I'm accountable to where I am right now. And in my private life, I need to get better. I don't need to be watching that show. I don't need to be scrolling TikTok. I don't need to be doing all these things that's leading me away from God, that's leading me away from my future wife, that's leading me away from my current wife, that's leading me away from my children, that's leading me away from that career, that's leading me away from the health that I should be in. Number two, accountability. Number three, we can't talk about 4 things to do when no one's watching and lead if we ain't talk about integrity. Because in all, this is integrity. We have to live with this integrity, with doing the right thing when no one's looking. But it goes farther and beyond that. It's doing these characteristics inside integrity, that is going to get us to there. So when I was in the military, I learned a lot about integrity, right? It's like, you get taught. So integrity is getting taught, and we're going to go into discipline, but getting taught a discipline, getting taught a task, getting taught a responsibility, getting taught something and carrying that 24/7 with you. So for instance, in the military, we have pockets. We don't know why, because we're not allowed to use them. Okay. So essentially you get taught you're not allowed to use your pockets when you're in uniform. So a big thing that you have to practice is even when you're in civilian clothes and even when you're in uniform, when no one's watching, don't use your pockets. Because I'm going to share this with you. You get more reps in private when you're alone than you do in public. Write this down. You get more reps in private than you do in public. So if you're waiting around for, let's say a workout partner, right? And his name is John, and John's always you know, busy, and he only has like 3 days a week that he can work out, and he takes 2 vacations a year. So whenever John's gone, you're not working out. Why? You're missing all these other reps. So I said that because you get more reps daily when you're in your car, when you're walking around your house, when you're in the bathroom, when you're in the bedroom, whenever you're scrolling TikTok, whenever you're scrolling Instagram, whenever you're watching a movie, whatever it is, you're getting reps right there to show your integrity. Okay? You're getting reps right then and there. Okay? We're showing your responsibility, showing your accountability. Okay? So keep that in mind, man. You get way more repetitions, way more reps when you're not being watched than what you are. Okay? Last one, I'm gonna leave y'all with this. Number 4, discipline. Told you, we're gonna come right back around. Discipline. Discipline is essential, absolutely essential to having when no one's watching. Why? Because motivation and inspiration fade, but discipline remains. It's not supposed to rhyme or nothing like that. But at the end of the day, where motivation falls off and fades away, and inspiration falls off and fades away, discipline is right there, like literally right there for the taking. So I say that because if you are a disciplined man, if you are a disciplined person, no matter what, you will always be doing the task that you're supposed to be assigned to do, regardless of your situation, regardless of the day, regardless of how you feel, because you're holding accountability, responsibility, and integrity in that role, which is then inside your discipline, bro. You have to be disciplined when no one's watching. You have to fundamentally get this. I can be inspired by David Goggins to run a marathon, but after watching that 1 or 2 videos, after an hour, after a week, that motivation is going to fail. What am I saying? What am I doing? How am I tasking myself? No, every day I'm going to get up at 4 in the morning. Every day I'm going to get up at 10 p.m. You know, whenever everybody's asleep, I'm going to go out on a run at 10 p.m. when the sun's down, and I'm going to run every day, 2 miles a day or a mile a day, whatever I can do, until I can work myself up to that. You're disciplining yourself. You're saying, I'm going to do this task. No matter what, I'm going to do it. So men, take this with you today. Integrity, accountability, responsibility, and discipline. In the comments down below, I'm going to call you to an action. I want to see which one of those 4 things that you're going to work on today, this week, this month. Doesn't have to be all of them, but share with me which one of those things, integrity, responsibility, accountability, or discipline, which one of those things that you're going to take with you. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.